Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Q8 Pilot stream. Want to welcome all of you guys in chat, and we have with us today Allah, Dougal McTavish, welcome my friend, Alex, Jingly Sim, welcome, glad to have you here with us this evening. Kavik Simulation, welcome aboard my friend. James G. Walker, hello my friend, welcome. Ryan. And we have also with us today Scott. Hey Scott, how are you? It's been a while, my friend. Jurgen, welcome aboard. Glad to have you all here with us. Today, I am just equally excited as I was last night to bring to you this first look preview of SimWorks Studios PC-12. This aircraft has been in the making for quite some time, and let me tell you, the guys over at SimWorks Studios have done a phenomenal job. A quick disclaimer before we begin taking a look at the aircraft, though, that the aircraft is still work in progress, so there are things that are still not finished. They're still working on a few things, but it should be released to all of you guys very soon. I don't know how soon, but I decided to do this first look stream today as the NDA was lifted just yesterday so that we can start showing the aircraft to all of you guys. So now that the disclaimer is out of the way, I do want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the guys over at SimWorks Studios for allowing me the opportunity to present this aircraft to you guys. And I also want to thank the guys behind Aviation Lads, who actually made the connection between myself and SimWorks Studios. Thank you, Aviation Lads, for that connection. I appreciate it, and thank you, SimWorks Studios. All right, so as it is always the case, we are going to begin the first look examining the 3D modeling and the texturing. We will then move to the interior of the aircraft. We're going to be taking a look at some of the features and the absolutely incredibly stellar cockpit that SimWorks Studios has developed. So let us go ahead and begin here by examining the exterior modeling, and it is nothing short of, you know, spectacular, really. They've done a really good job modeling the aircraft and bringing it to a level of authenticity that that warrants commendation without a doubt. Very nice texturing, and by the way, this aircraft comes in multiple variants. This variant here is the 5-blade variant, and there is a 4-blade variant with a bunch of liveries. I will show you guys all the liveries that are available for the different variants once we land at our destination. And speaking of the destination, we are currently situated at the General Aviation Parking at Santa Barbara in the United States, in the state of California. We're going to be flying from the southern part of the state to Fresno, California, my second home in the United States this evening. And yeah, the texturing, without a doubt. Look at the again, the area under the wing here. You can, again, fine details really with the texturing. You can see the lights here. Very nice work by SimWorks Studios. The landing gear area. You can see the light right there. Look at those fine details. I just love details. And of course, this is all not finished, so I'm sure lots and lots to be done still before the aircraft is made available. Look at the you can, if let me just zoom in here a little bit. You see those little, the little dirt on the windshield. Those kind of details is, something I just really have a lot of appreciation for. And yeah, we're going to examine the liveries without. You can see the passengers already sitting inside the aircraft here, if we look. And speaking of the cabin, let's go inside and take a look. Yeah, look, you've got your passengers there. You've got your seats and very nicely modeled cabin. Let me switch to the... There we go. And ladies and gents, look at this cockpit. Gee, this is absolutely gorgeous. Really, from the fidelity perspective, it really doesn't get any better than this. Again, I love the photoreal textures. I love the attention to detail, the reflections of the instruments, the little scratches here on the panels, the stitched leather right here just gives this aircraft an incredibly realistic look. As you can see here, look at that. Look at the details and look at the fine work by SimWorks Studios. Definitely a step up from their Quest Kodiak and the RV-10, I believe. All great aircraft by SimWorks Studios, but this is really taking things to the next level in terms of an add-on development. Very nicely modeled texturing, aircraft, cabin, and cockpit. And if we move to the back of the aircraft here, so we can look at the passenger cabin, again, high resolution textures. I could do without the passengers, to be honest, but they're actually pretty nicely modeled. I mean, they look like real people to an extent. And by the way, everything here is modeled, so you can turn on the lights here. And we can, of course, open the aircraft door, which we are going to do in a second here. Let's go over here. And again, I want you to notice this little green dot here, a green square, and it turns red once we turn the lever to open the exit. You see this open drawer lift and latch, and then we just click here, and there we go. Again, very nice sounds across the board, and you'll listen to the engine sounds as well as all of the sounds. The overall cockpit ambient sounds are very well done on this aircraft in my view. The texturing is of the highest order. Very nice use of PBR, not very exaggerated again. They've done it just right to give the aircraft a realistic look. Look at the reflection of this wing. It looks just gorgeous. Look at that. Let me come over here and show you guys. There we go. I think that's a much better look right there. Look at that. That's very nice. And by the way, you can also close the shades if that's what you choose to do, which is, again, and with the sound. So notice the sounds are just really very well done on this aircraft. I love the sounds of the cockpit, and we're going to listen, of course, to everything in just a second here. Let's go ahead and close the door. And to close the door, we just simply click here. Right, door doesn't want to close. Come on. There we go. Check out those sounds. Really brilliant sounds. And here is again a look again at the cockpit. Look at this cockpit, guys. Just absolutely wonderful work by SimWorks Studios. All right, so the shades are, again, you can interact with the shades. We're going to remove this one here out of the way. And what you'll notice is that the circuit breakers, all of the circuit breakers, are fully functional to give this aircraft, again, an extra level of realism. And I think SimWorks Studios is really aiming to create a study-level simulation of the PC-12 for Microsoft Flight Sim with this aircraft. Again, not everything is finished. We can see that there is an EFB, but the EFB is still work in progress, so it is currently not functional. So we're just going to leave it here. But listen to the sounds again of the circuit breakers. Very, very nicely modeled sounds across the board with this aircraft. Of course, the checklists are, again, work in progress as well. So this is not the non-exhaustive list of the available checklist with the aircraft. Suffice it to say that we will use whatever is available so you guys can see. We're not going to do all of the pre-flight inspection, but we'll just do the before engine start perhaps and the engine start procedure. So here's what we're going to do. We are using the GTN PMS50 Garmin device, and this aircraft supports all of the Garmin devices, including the TDS PMS50 Garmin 750 devices, as well as the 430 and 530 Garmin devices. And you can select whichever one you like. I suppose that it's going to be part of the EFB in the days to come. But right now, it's a separate file. You just drop it in the aircraft folder and you're good to go. And we have with us Rand Cooley. Welcome, Rand. Glad to have you here. And Mila Hoffman, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. First time, I think, on the channel. Welcome aboard. Simon, welcome. Glad to have you here with us. And we have ETOPS 120. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. If you'd like to call passengers default MSFS payload station, kick it down, and they, I think I've tried this. It didn't work, so we'll see. And Benny, hello, my friend. Welcome. All right, so we're going to go here to the overhead panel, and we're going to turn on the standby bus. Listen to the sounds. Again, brilliant ambient sounds across the board in this aircraft. And we're going to perform the lamp test. Again, we're going to just make sure that all the lights illuminate. And we should actually, that we need the batteries for. So we're going to turn on battery 2 and battery 1. And I think if we do this now, we can see all the lights. You can see all the lights illuminated in the cockpit. All right, perfect. That can go away. And now that we have the batteries, we can check the fuel pumps. You can listen to the fuel pump. Did you notice that the sounds actually differ? The left and right fuel pumps have different sounds. Now, this level of detail is something I really like. And this is, again, it goes to saying how SimWorks Studios have spent a considerable amount of time developing this add-on. They developed it with care and lots of love, and the results are just really outstanding. And this is, by the way, early access, so the aircraft still isn't finished. So I'm quite excited. And I have been, by the way, a beta tester for quite some time on the aircraft. So I have seen the progress of the aircraft over a period of time, and I tell you, it's looking really cool. Right, we're going to come here and we're going to make sure that the non-smoking signs and seatbelt signs are on for our passengers, and we can reset the master caution. We can come here. We can actually turn off the standby bus now. There we go, and we can. Let's set our altimeter real quick. There we go. Excellent. And now we can start our engine. We're going to turn on the nav lights and the beacon lights. And before we begin, we're going to come down here. We're going to make sure that the oxygen is showing about 1800 pressure, which is about right here. And this is the passenger oxygen. Looks like it's currently off, and this is the on position, and auto and off, and the on position is right there. Okay, so we're going to come down here, and we're going to turn the oxygen on. Listen again to the beautiful sounds. We're going to make sure that the interrupt switches are in the normal position. Alternate stab is not required. And we're going to make sure the power is on idle. And the cutoff, the condition lever is on the cutoff position. We don't need the manual override here, and all the switches, these are the cabin light switches. And by the way, there are some really, really nice lights aboard this aircraft, which we will take a look at once we are at our destination in Fresno, California. All right. We can leave this now. Let's go and start the engine. And starting the engine is quite simple. We just click on start. Listen to the sounds. Watch the NG, about 13% NG, and we're good to go. We're going to give it condition lever goes to ground idle. Listen to the sounds. Did you notice the animation there of the propeller? Very, very nice indeed. All right, and we can come back over to the overhead panel. We're going to turn on avionics 1 and 2. And now the aircraft systems are initializing. We need to test the EIS, I believe, is what it's called. And it will perform the test. And then now, once it shows here, everything shows here to 0, so we need to reset the fuel reset button here. And now you'll see that everything comes back to life, and you'll be able to see the readings in a second here. All right, let's do fuel reset. There we go. And we should be able to see the amount of fuel in the aircraft. There we go. Everything is back to normal.
Essential bus, generator 2.
All right. Generator 1, generator 2. And you've heard the Earl warning. Again, this aircraft is fully equipped with all sorts of the warnings that actually come with the PC-12. And you'll hear those throughout when there's something wrong with the aircraft. Again, true to life simulation of the PC-12. All right, we have the ECS switch here to auto, and the pusher will come to that in a minute. But first, let's program our flight plan. All right, our flight plan is quite simple today. So we're going to go to flight plan, and we're going to bring up the excellent SimBrief charts, and we'll put it here. We're going to be traveling through runway. Let's bring up the... There we go. So that's where we are. Navigraph keeps doing that. All right, let's come here, do it one more time. All right, here we go. And now we have, all right, perfect. So we are at Santa Barbara, and we are going to be taking off runway 15 left and heading to Fresno, California, runway 29er right. The runway 11 is closed, I believe. We're going to be arriving through the Alta 9er, through the Tulare transition, or Tango Tango Echo, and the approach is the ILS runway 29er right through the Alta transition. Perfect. So let's set our destination, which is Kilo Foxtrot Alpha Tango, and enter that. And the waypoint is we are going to be going direct to, let's go to the SimBrief plan here. Easier to, all right, so Golf Victor Oscar. So we're going to add the waypoint here, Golf Victor Oscar, and enter that. And then we're going to add, let's see, 13.8 nautical miles. Add a waypoint, and the next waypoint is the Tulare VOR, I suppose. TTE? No, Tool. Okay, I thought it's the Tulare Tulare County is in that area. So, all right. So we have that here. We are departing runway 15, and we're going to make a turn to intercept the flight path. We're going to go to Fresno, and we're going to say load procedure, and we're going to select the arrival into Fresno. It's the Alta 9er, and there is no transition. The runway is runway 29er right, and we're going to load the arrival. And next, we're going to go back, and we're going to select the procedure and select our approach into Fresno, and it's the ILS 29er right Yankee. And transition is the Alta transition. And we're going to load the approach. And now we have our flight plan ready in the Garmin device. We're going to switch this to map. And we're going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Wycliffe Barrett, hello, my friend. Good evening to you. Glad to have you here, my friend. Hello there, Allison. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Really enjoyed your stream last night. Very well done. Love seeing you fly the Comanche, Allison. Welcome. Glad to have you here with us. Captain USA, welcome aboard, my friend. All right. So we are ready to go. We are going to set our altitude to our cruise altitude today, which is going to be 19,000 feet. And let's set the altimeter. Right, altimeter is set. Perfect. We're going to come down here and we're going to select nav. And this will switch this to GPS, as you can see. And now we need to do one more thing, which is the pusher. By the way, did we turn on our beacon? We did, yes. Okay, perfect. Now, the pusher is something that you need to test, and there's a specific sequence that you need to perform in order to get rid of this annunciator here on the display. And to get rid of this, we need to first set flaps 15. So we're going to... Actually, guys, before we do the pusher, let me set the cabin pressure. So we are here. We are going to set the cabin pressure to 3, 18, 19. We'll set it to 20. All right, perfect. And everything here, cabin pressure is on auto. And that's going to... All right, so now back to the pusher. Pusher is, it's like this... a stall shaker that you get here, and let me tell you how this is done. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set flaps 15, and you need to do this in this order or it will simply not work. And then we need to increase our torque. We're going to go to, let's see here. All right, I think that's about right. And then we're going to come up here and click on the pusher. Right, you see that? And we're going to keep pushing in. And you see this little button here. We're going to click that button. All right. Then we're going to release. We're going to move up. And we're going to release the pusher button. And then we're going to come down here and release this button. And now... you can see that the pusher light has gone away. And this is how you perform the pusher test. And this is, I've read about this, and this is the exact true-to-life simulation of how you actually do this test. Everything so far is exactly as it should per the real-life aircraft, the PC-12. So, pretty cool. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about this aircraft. Let's turn on our transponder, and we're going to set it to on. We'll leave it there. Squawking 1200, that's fine. And terrain is inop. The terrain P-test is inop, which is okay. Again, guys, this is work in progress, so things are being worked out as we speak. We are now ready with everything here. We're ready to taxi. So we're going to move up here and turn on the taxi lights. And everything else here is looking in tip-top shape. Ladies and gents, we're ready to go. Fly Lilo. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Hello, Matthew. Welcome. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. I hope you are the same. And we have Naturally Herb. What is the precise zero developer modeling PC-12? As far as I've seen, they seem to be no attempt from anyone modeling that plane. It's too complicated to simulate. We have also Zialo Bialo. Hello, my friend, and thank you very much for your support. All right. We are ready to go, folks, and we can now release the parking brake and head over to runway 15 left for departure. Parking brake is released. And there we go. All right, here's runway 15 left. Let's hold short right here. The rotation speed on the PC-12 is 82 knots, and the best climb is between 140 and 150 knots. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to turn on the strobes, landing lights, taxi lights can go off, and let's see here. What else do we want to do? Everything here looks good. Flaps are set, and we are ready to go. So let's release the parking brake. And off we go. We're going to turn the condition lever to flight idle. Right, here we go. Let's adjust our view. Set this view here. Alrighty. And here's 15 left. And we are going to hold the brakes. All right, let's set takeoff power. Slowly advance the power. It's a pretty short runway, by the way. All right, we're looking good. And brakes released. Airspeed alive. 80 knots. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gears going up. All right. Let's push this in. Let's begin our turn. Speed is good. Flaps are up. Thousand feet. We're going to increase the rate of climb a little bit. I tell you, hand flying this aircraft is very joyful, just like the FSR 500 that we've tried yesterday. Very nice, brilliant sounds. We continue the climb. Let's hand fly just a little bit longer. We're going to set the vertical speed to about 1,200 feet per minute for the climb. We're going to arm. Let's go back here. Arm. All right, we're looking good. Let's begin our turn. Excellent. And at this point, we can engage the autopilot. So autopilot and nav. And then we're going to engage the vertical speed here. And now the aircraft will do its thing exactly as it should. Leo Sticks 86, welcome aboard. All is well, my friend. Thank you for asking. Look at how beautiful this aircraft is. This terrain looks very familiar to me. Yeah, I flew around this area many times for many years. Hey, Julian, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Simon says, stop streaming all these new planes. I finished my money. We have with us Tango 902. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Thanks for being here with us. Yeah, that's a killer paint job. It is indeed. Yeah. So if we zoom out a little bit here. There we go. Now we can see the flight path properly. And here is a wing view for you guys. Look at that. This one is nicer. Look at that, guys. Wow. That is impressive. Very nice indeed. I'm really starting to get excited about the development and the level of fidelity that we're starting to see is something that we haven't seen in the last 3-4 years ago, and I'm really starting to get very excited. I'm getting more excited about flight sim. My passion is just ever growing for this hobby, and some of the things that we're seeing today, we never thought of having. There were things that we used to say, just imagine having, real world scenery, and now we have it. Or imagine having like a study level jet for flight simulation, and now we have one. We have the CL650 Challenger, and we have, oh my goodness, Allison Johnson just came in with a £49.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Allison. Thank you so very much. That's very, very kind of you. Oh, you are definitely special. Thank you very much for supporting. That's very, very kind of you, Allison. I truly appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Right, 10,000 feet, ladies and gents. Let's release the passengers. Let's turn off the landing lights. All is looking good. Look at this view. Wow. This looks absolutely stunning.
Thank you for all you do.
Well, you're most welcome, and thank you for all you do, Allison. You do great service to the community. By the way, folks, I think I've mentioned this before on stream. Allison is a fellow content creator and a dear friend. She has some really excellent streams, very down-to-earth, very cool demeanor. I enjoy watching her streams. When I do get the chance, I haven't been really having that much time lately with all the commitments, but Allison is definitely worth it. She's got her channel on Twitch. I'm not sure, Allison, if you've got it on YouTube. But excellent content. We have with us today Bruno. Hello, Bruno. Hi, my friend. Good afternoon. I'm from Brazil. Do you know if this plane will come to Xbox? Any clue about when it will be released to? I have no clue on both accounts. I'm very sorry about that. I flew the PC-12 at the beginning of my career, and the sound is exactly the same. Fantastic. Oh, thank you very much. We have a real-world PC-12 pilot with us here, ladies and gents. And he attests to the accuracy of the sounds. And thank you very much for sharing that with us. That's really very much appreciated. All right. We've set the altimeter to 3002. We'll set it standard once we are at 18,000 feet. You can see the AP trim here. We've got the cabin pressure. All's looking good here. All's looking good here. And the scenery is quite fantastic too. By the way, folks, I am using Rex AccuSeasons, and that's why you see all the different colors of the trees here, as you can see here. And I will be doing a review of AccuSeasons by Rex Simulations. Which, by the way, if you just want a quick answer, it's worth it. From my perspective, I think it is worth it without a doubt. So by all means, do get it if if you want to enhance the look and feel of MSFS without a doubt. Is this plane released? Not yet. Not yet. Dougal, would you mind putting Allison's Twitch channel in chat? If you can just put the link there, I would be very, very grateful, my friend. And thanks again, Allison, for your super generous super chat. I truly appreciate it. Very kind of you. All right. So if we look here, we are, let's go back to the flight plan. And actually, we don't need the flight plan. All we need is our Navigraph charts. Yeah, I can't fly without Navigraph charts. The best tool available for flight sim today is Navigraph. Excellent. They just keep on improving and improving. All right. Let's go to the flight. We're going to take notice of the ILS frequency for the runway, which is 29er right, which is this one here. And if we look at our arrival right here, so this is the Alta transition through Sango, Story, and then it's the runway here. The ILS frequency at Fresno, California, runway 29er right, is 111.3. So I'm going to go ahead and set that now, 111.3. Ah, it says on the standby frequency. Okay. And we're just going to enter that. We'll leave it there. Standby frequency set, so that's cool. We are good. And we are almost at 18,000 feet. By the way, folks, if you forget to set the cabin pressure on this aircraft, and at about 14,000 feet, you will hear the oral warning, cabin pressure, and you'll get the annunciator here showing cabin pressure in red, meaning that your passengers by that time probably have passed out, and you probably need to pull the oxygen mask, or otherwise, you will probably pass out as well. So again, the pressure is simulated, cabin pressure is simulated properly on this aircraft, which is again very commendable. A couple of things I'd like to show you in the passenger cabin, which is worth, taking a look at. One is, if you click here, you can lift the armrest, and if you click on this little thing, you can open the drawer, and let's see here. All right, let me change the way there we go. We can close that. You can open and serve some water and some orange juice as well. And then we can come here. You can actually lift the chairs. We can tilt the chairs, which is pretty cool. And now check this out. Now, I'm not sure how would this work in real life, but let me show you something here. So if you click this door, it closes the cabin door, and then you've got the lavatory. It closes the doors on both sides, so no one can see you, thankfully. But it's a very strange lavatory. Just close the door on the passengers and the captain, and that's how you can. There, we fold the doors back again, and that's how you use the lavatory on this. You can also open here and serve some magazines for the passengers while they await the arrival into Fresno, California. Some really nice details, which I do like, to be honest. Flush that baby. Yeah, a lot of people like that kind of stuff, so it is there if you like it. All right, we are going to take a look here. We are 69 nautical miles from. Let me go back to the flight plan. All right. So if we look here, we are heading over to I'm sure this is Tulare. And we are about 60 nautical miles, so 41. All right. So we are at 19,000, and the initial approach altitude is 1,800. Let's say 2,000. That's 1734, 44, 51. So 51 nautical miles out, we need to begin the descent. So once we are at on the way to Alta, we will begin the descent to 1,800 feet. So we are good for now. Back, and let's put the map back on, and we're going to zoom out a little bit here just to kind of see where we are. That's TTE, the transition into our arrival for Fresno, Yosemite. The airport has really changed. When I visited Fresno back in 2017, I noticed how they've changed the entrance, and it's much nicer now. It's still a very small little airport. Ladies and gents, V1 Simulations is in the house. Instead of a walk of shame, it's the doors of shame. Toilet 10 out of 10, though. Now that made me laugh, V1. Very glad to see you here, sir. How are you doing, my friend? All right. By the way, we forgot to set the altimeter to 299 18,000 feet in the States. So there we go. All right. V1 Simulations, guys, is a real-world Airbus captain. And if you don't know who he is, well, I don't know what to tell you, but you have got to visit his channel and look at his videos. I learned so much from V1. Flying the Airbus is never the same after you watch one of V1's instructive videos. He is not only an accomplished airline pilot, but he is also a great instructor. So both in real life, by the way, and in the sim. And he is probably the best person for simulation of failures on an aircraft. He'll do 4 or 5 failures in one flight, and then he shows you how to recover gracefully from those failures and return to the airport or land at the nearest airport. And of course he does it in style because he's a real world captain, so he goes through the procedures. He tells you also, one of the things I really appreciate in V1's streams and videos is this: when he plans a scenario and he plays out the scenario, he'll tell you exactly what are the limitations of the sim. So he'll tell you, this is what we're doing in the sim, but in real world we do 1, 2, 3, 4. And he really provides real world insight into flight simulation, which is something I really appreciate. Thank you for your service for the community, V1. I really appreciate everything that you do for us. All right, we are still looking good. And here's a look at the beautiful Look at that, ladies and gents. Beautiful California. Yeah, my second home in the US of A. I can't wait for Flight Sim Expo 2023. Look at this beautiful terrain. Yeah, I definitely can't wait for FS Expo 2023. I will be speaking to Evan from FS Expo this month. We're starting to plan for FS Expo 2024, which of course you guys already know that I'm going to be a diamond sponsor. All the channel moderators are welcome to join FS Expo. They are going to be, of course, delegates of the channel, and you know, thus they will enjoy all the perks of being a delegate of the channel. And I am also going to sponsor one FSA captain. I still haven't told Evan about this, but I think he's going to be happy about it. I'm going to sponsor one FSA captain, so I will be sponsoring his ticket and hotel accommodation, as well as the ticket to the expo. That is going to be on the channel. So I'd like to inspire as many people as I can, and this is my gift for the community, for the endless support and unparalleled support that I've received over the years. Delta Tango 529, I could not agree more with your assessment of V1's channel. I learned so much from him. Absolutely, absolutely. Recovering in an Airbus is easy. There has to be a button to have you plan. You know, Alex, there is a lot of truth to that. I'll tell you, there is a lot of truth to what you're saying. The one thing I love about Airbus is you get the CAS messages, and they tell you exactly what you need to do, which is pretty cool. I like that about Airbus. Boeing is a little bit more difficult because, you know, you have to just really follow the checklist very carefully. Otherwise, you'll end up in the Hudson River. So, yeah. Look at that. Look at just beautiful. I'm so familiar with this terrain, and I tell you guys, it looks exactly like it is in real life. I flew so many times over this route. From Santa Barbara, from Santa Monica, John Wayne airports, Monterey. Yeah, very nice area. I feel, you know, very nostalgic right now. Just remember, you know, the days in college at Fresno State. What a wonderful time. Probably the best time in my life was the time I spent in Fresno, California. I will be visiting Fresno, California without a doubt next June after FS Expo, and I'm going to meet with my classmate who visited me in Kuwait not too long ago. So we've decided that we're going to do something for his birthday, which is going to be in June. So I'm very, very excited about FS Expo this year. Please hit the thumbs up, folks. It really helps the channel. Well, thank you very much, Dougal. I appreciate it, my friend. You're very, very kind. All right, so as soon as we arrive into Tango Tango Echo, we will begin the descent. I just can't get over how beautiful this cockpit is. Look at that. So nice. Yeah. And by the way, guys, yesterday on the on my stream of the FS Reborn, when I arrived into Graz, I noticed that my FPS went to 100 FPS at the beginning of the flight to about 40. And this actually is a well-known bug now by the guys at FS Reborn. They are aware and they have submitted the fix for it. And you know, kudos to Raul from FS Reborn for immediately posting a message informing everyone of that issue. And I do also want to thank two guys who've been very helpful in debugging that issue. I can't recall all of them, but what I recall from the post is Tutun Murphy, who's been a guest here on the channel many times, and also Dougal McTavish. They do wonderful service to the community, those two guys. Dougal, by the way, used to be the SimWings champion some years ago, and I do understand why he stopped it. But it was fun while it lasted, without a doubt. FS Reborn are working very hard to fix that. Yeah, I'm aware, Dougal. I'm aware. Thank you very much, both you and Tutu and Murphy, for the excellent, for the excellent support to fix the issues. Here is a wing view. Maybe we'll go to this side here and just look at how beautiful this is, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very nice. FS Reborn Sting S4 has a prop rotation animation issue on my machine too. Oh, really? Huh. The good thing is, I love those developers. I love how passionate they are about their projects. And I know on the FS Reborn, there is, when you load it for the first time, there is a setup of the EFB. It tells you how, it helps you set up the realism settings. And there is a message from, FS Reborn there, from Raul, thanking everyone for supporting the project. And that level, that passion, that compassion and passion that those guys have is unbelievable. And what makes things work. Earlier today, one of the scenery developers reached out, and he wanted to, he offered to provide a scenery from one of the developers who happens to have, not so much of a good attitude for the community. And I was immediately thinking the difference between, those guys and, all right, I'll stop here. I don't want to bash anyone, but there are developers that really, really deserve, hats off. You just a standing ovation for their dedication, for their passion, for their compassion, for their leadership. And there are a number of them in the community, and I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. We have with us today Bango Fed from Massachusetts. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. We understand exactly what you mean. All right, we're getting close now, so I'm going to reset the altitude here to, we want to go to 1,800 feet. So there is no VNAV, though, so we're going to have to be careful with our altitude. So let's see if there are any restrictions real quick. Actually, we don't need Navigraph. Let's check here. Let's go back. Let's go to the flight plan. And let's see here. 18,000. Looks like we are clear. So, yeah. All right. Perfect. Let's go back to the map and let's reset the altitude to 1,000 and 1,800 feet. There we go, 1,800 feet. Brilliant. And the airport should be somewhere right there. For both sceneries today used during the stream, both Santa Barbara and Fresno, California, they're available at Orbex store. So you're more than welcome to visit the store. The link is available in chat command !scenery. All right, here we go. We're going to zoom in a little bit here. About 7 nautical miles. Yeah, 1,800, that's fine. We're all good here. And we're going to set the vertical speed to, not sure, maybe 800 feet per minute. 900 feet per minute. All right, we're going to arm this. We go here, arm, and we'll just engage once we reach Tango Tango Echo. Look at that. I drove on those streets for many, many years. We used to always go to my favorite place to visit during a weekend or during spring break was Santa Monica. I used to have a couple of friends there. So we used to go to Santa Monica a lot, and it was about 3.5 hour drive from Fresno. So it's within reach for a weekend drive. It was a lot of fun, without a doubt. It was a lot of fun. And if you're, I'm not sure if the pizza place is still there, but on Santa Monica, there is a place called Shakey's Pizza. And I tell you guys, they offer the best pizza. So if you're ever in Santa Monica, look up Shakey's Pizza. If they're still there, go and grab a bite because they have some really excellent pizza. All right, we are at TTE. And E. Strikos, welcome to Private Pilot, my friend. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. All right, here we are. Welcome, welcome. Benny has been a member as a private pilot for 29 months. Wow, time flies. Benny, thank you so much, sir, for your support. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and engage. And now the aircraft is going to descend. We're going to ease off on the throttle here, and the aircraft should begin the descent. Let's check what's going on here. 900 feet per minute. Engage. There we go. Please go ahead and descend. All right, let's see here. What's going on? We've armed this, but the aircraft isn't descending. Very strange. Why is the aircraft not descending? Let me think. Well, I am not sure why the aircraft isn't descending, so I'm just going to click on down here and see if that works. Yep, that works. Okay. Brilliant. And we're going to ease off on the power here. And we can also come to the Garmin device. We're going to go to procedure and we're going to say activate the approach. Go back to the map. The approach is now activated, which is the alpha transition. And we are descending at about 1,200 feet per minute, about 1,100 feet per minute. And we are about 31 nautical miles from Alta, the transition into final, so we should be fine. Looking good. I'm going to go ahead and turn back on the non-smoking and fasten seatbelt signs. Everything here is looking good. Excellent. Right, we'll ease off on the power a little bit. We might need a little bit more. So let me just increase the rate of descent. - 1,300 feet per minute. All right, looking good. Excellent. Roy Soul, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. SWS. Elias, how are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here. Are you using the stock shadow resolution MSFS? Yes. stock shadow. All right, we're down to 15. We're looking good. As far as the descent rate, we'll be at Fresno in no time. 1,800 feet is what we're aiming for. Altimeter is set, 3005. I love this cockpit. I tell you guys, I just really love this cockpit. Very, very nicely done by SimWorks Studios. By the way, folks, there's one thing I forgot to show you. This window here can actually be open. Let's go ahead and... Now, you shouldn't be able to... You shouldn't do that at this altitude, but you've noticed how when you open it, you can hear the wind. And it opens to the inside. I'm not sure if actually you'll be able to open it in real life.
Pressure.
Yeah. I know. Sorry. So now you see that it actually works. So we lost cabin pressure because I opened the window. So I think maybe we need to repressurize the aircraft. We can turn on the passenger oxygen here. So if you come here, and now you'll, let me see here, I think there. And now you have passenger oxygen here. But yeah, that wasn't a wise thing to do. And when I do the first look videos or streams, I like to play around and see if, you do something wrong, will it work? And it did actually work. So I was surprised when I opened it the first time, nothing happened. I said, well, I'm not sure you're supposed to do this in real life. So the next time we opened it, we definitely lost cabin pressure. And we got the little beep there saying cabin pressure. So yeah, it's simulated. Yeah, it's simulated very well. So this is from a simulation perspective. I think SimWorks Studios is really aiming to create a study level or near study level simulation of the PC-12. So I just lost my iPad for some reason. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Yeah, I just lost my iPad, so I'll be away from the chat for a little while until my iPad restarts. Sorry about that, guys. Right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. We are looking good. We're going to ease off on the throttle a little bit here. Right, 18. All right, looking good. The approach speed is about 100 knots, and the landing speed with flaps 40, beg your pardon, is about 80 knots. Now, most pilots, according to what I've read, most pilots prefer to land with flaps 30. That's what I've read. That most pilots actually like to, with higher speed, go land at a higher speed with flaps 30. But flaps 40 provides for a more stable approach. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do flaps 40. And we'll go for the more stable approach. You can see now cabin pressure is gone because now we are at 10,000 feet. So you can see cabin pressure is gone. Again, very detailed simulation of the pressurization system aboard the aircraft, which is pretty cool. All right, 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come on. A little bit of turbulence here as we arrive into Fresno, California. Brilliant sound. Gotta love those sounds. Guys, what do we think? Do we turn off FS Realistic? Could we turn it off? This window is only used for emergencies in case of smoke in the cabin in real life. Oh, I see. Thank you very much for that, Tango 902. Appreciate that. They're advanced aircraft. In fact, I love everything from SimWorks Studios. They create some very good add-ons, I have to say. All right, we're going to start reducing the power here. We're down to about 8,000 feet. We're not too far now from Fresno. Just a lovely sight. The beauty of the state of California. The Golden State. Gotta have FS Realistic, can't live without it personally. Alright, Chris, we'll leave it on. Yeah, turn it off. You see, I know I can't make everyone happy, but it's kind of bothering me, to be honest. Alright, we'll leave it for a little while. If it gets too much, then I'll turn it off. I did turn off all the sounds so that, you know, we only get the sounds that we want to hear from the aircraft. It just makes things a little bit wobbly sometimes. All right. There we go. Looking good. What happened? Ah, just a pause there. Right. Here's the turn. 7,000. About 5,000 feet to go. And we are... What's going on here? All right. I have a suspicion this is all FS Realistic. Right, 10 nautical miles. Right, here we go. We're going to start reducing power. And the airport should be right ahead of us now. If we look here at our flight plan. So that's Fresno, California. And we are, if we go back, distance is 9. If we go back here to the flight plan. So 8 and then 6 and 4. Yeah, so, yeah, that's fine. Go to map. There we go. 7 nautical miles. We're looking good. All right, we're almost at our approach altitude, or the platform altitude. Man, this the changes that Accu Season by Rex made to the sim is outstanding. I love it. Yeah. All right, 3,000. So 1,800 is what we're looking for. So we're almost there now. And we can see, all right, let's see if we can go to approach. No, still doesn't work. Let me activate this. All right, so we have the ILS. Let's try now. So maybe we're not at the right altitude. Anyway, I think the visuals is okay. If the ILS does not capture for any reason, we should be fine. But I think we need to change this to ADF localizer. There we go. And then go to approach. There we go. Excellent. And now we're looking good. And the runway is should be right ahead of us now. Let me set my view. And again, the approach speed is about 100 knots and 80 knots, about 82 knots for the landing with flaps 40, while real-world pilots prefer flaps 30 with higher approach speed. We're going to go for flaps 40 today for the more stable approach, according to what I have read about the PC-12. Right, 1,800 feet. We are stable now. Speed is reducing. We're looking good. Almost there. Right, there we go. We'll give it a little power. I still don't have the runway in sight. But we should see the runway momentarily ahead of us. Right, we're going to go to flaps. No, we'll wait a little bit. Look at that, ladies and gents. Looks like it's a bit foggy at Fresno Yosemite. But so far, this aircraft has really amazed me. And by the way, this is only the second test flight I've done after the last version that was provided to us by SWS. So I'm quite impressed by everything related to this aircraft, from the visual fidelity to the sounds are just simply amazing. I love the sounds on this aircraft. Right, let's zoom in. We can see the runway right ahead, 29 right. Is ahead of us now. We're still at 1,800. Looking good. And we are going to do flaps 15. And I'm not sure. Like where we are. I can't see a thing. Visibility isn't that great today here at Fresno. But we're going to go ahead and lower the landing gear now. Landing gear coming down. And the aircraft is definitely descending towards the runway. We're gonna ease off on the throttle a little bit here. I think for landing we need the inertial separator, if I'm not mistaken. Right, 100 knots. Our approach speed is set. And we're gonna go for flaps 40. The aircraft is definitely doing exactly as it should, with the glide slope and maintaining the localizer. And that's 29 right. I can barely see it. I can see the lights, the runway lights, but it's a bit foggy as we come in here to land at Fresno Yosemite. That's nostalgia for me, guys. Wow, 10 years of my life in Fresno, California. All right, looking good. And we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Autopilot disengaged. My aircraft. We should get a warning. Strange that we didn't. Let's watch our speed. Hello, Fresno, California. Beautiful approach into Fresno. A little bit of crosswind. And power to idle. Ladies and gents, welcome to Fresno, California. What a lovely flight into one of my favorite spots in the world. All right, and we're going to put this back on ground idle. And here is the main Fresno Yosemite terminal ahead of us.
Warning, trim.
We should have turned off the yaw damper, by the way. (113 FPM). Not bad. Some strange things going on with the scenery here. And this is exactly what the terminal looks like. All right. We're just going to go over there. There we go. Parking brake is set. And let's see here. We can turn that off. And landing lights, nav, beacon strobes can all go off. Passenger and fasten seatbelt signs can go off as well. And we can now... Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Can turn off the gens. Avionics. Can bring back the standby power on. And turn off the batteries. Everything is off here. We can turn that off. And we are back into the cold and dark state. And now we can come to the back here and open the aircraft door. And the passengers can now disembark. Yeah. What do you guys think of this SimWorks Studios PC-12? She is a beauty, isn't she? Absolutely, yeah. Great, looking forward for the release. Did you hang out at Yosemite Valley much? Of course, yeah, of course. We used to go to Yosemite, we used to go to Shaver Lake, we used to go to Bass Lake, and down at Bass Lake, we used to rent those boats and go in the river and, do some speed boating and things like that. So yeah, it was pretty cool. How much RAM and VRAM does your setting use, Q8? I don't know, really. I'll have to check and come back to you on that. I continue to do great things. Absolutely, Dougal. I second that statement that they continue to do great things. And this aircraft is really next level in terms of how it looks, how it sounds, and the level of system simulation and the depth of simulation is definitely, definitely commendable by SWS. Well, I'll tell you folks, get your wallets ready because this aircraft is an absolute must-have on release. I don't know how much the aircraft's going to cost, but I highly recommend this aircraft. One of the best general aviation aircraft. Along with, we have two of them now. We have the FS Reborn and this one by SimWorks Studios. Both absolutely excellent. Both are must-have aircraft, in my view. Before we conclude, I promised you guys that I would show you the liveries. So I'm going to go back to the main menu, and let me show you just where so you get the full picture as to what the package is going to include. When you purchase the aircraft upon release. So we're going to take a look at, without failures, I'm not sure. So you have all your circuit breakers, so you can simulate any failure that you like. And there is an electronic flight bag that is work in progress, which is coming with the aircraft as well. All right. So if I go to aircraft selection, you'll see the different variants of the aircraft. So you have the PC-12 four-bladed, and then if I click here, these are the liveries that come with it. You've got a cargo variant as well, which is always cool, and there is a commuter one. This is the only one, by the way, with a U.S. registration number. And then from here, you have also four-bladed executive. And then you have a five-bladed commuter. Here, let me show you the liveries here. So you've got those two. And then you've got the five-bladed aircraft, which has the Safari Wings livery, is my favorite of them. And then you have the executive, which is the one we flew today with those liveries. So this one's got more liveries that ship with the aircraft. I'm not sure if this is the final list of liveries, but nonetheless, as you can see, there are a number of liveries that come with the aircraft. Well, folks, this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of our live stream this evening. I hope that it was insightful, and I hope that you've enjoyed the show. I want to thank you all for your support during the stream, and I want to thank you for being here on this Sunday evening. Great to have you all with me. I really enjoyed both the aircraft, the flight, and interacting with all of you. Thank you for the channel moderators for all your help. I appreciate it. And I want to thank very, very much the entire team at SimWorks Studios for allowing me the opportunity to showcase this amazing general aviation aircraft, the PC-12 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This brings us to the conclusion of the stream. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. Now we'll see you all very soon. Stay safe, folks, and good night.